This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Here it is, a Waterfall Wednesday on the After Party Live. Thank you to Wes for kicking it off, this crowdfunded show with $5 through the PayPal website, paypal.com. And the link to the After Party Live PayPal is in the show description every day. It's also in the About tab where Wes has helped develop a live link. So thank you for the $5, Wes. Way to kick off the show. I appreciate it. You guys have been very, very nice to me this week, so I appreciate that very much. 3 weeks until Aloha, says Phineas. I can't wait till you go to Hawaii. You better send us some pictures. I want to tell you this, today's show will be short, and here is why. Not only did Mark's start or end a half an hour late, so the show starts way late, but also I have a passport appointment. It started with, I think I've mentioned how my daughter Julia is going to perform with the Santa Rosa Youth Symphony in Europe this summer. It's a really big deal. She's going to Germany and Amsterdam, and she needs a passport. She's never been out of the country before. So we have a passport appointment, and we figured we might as well get Jacob a passport too. And my husband doesn't have a passport, so he was added. And here's a good rule. Apparently, so my husband can't steal my children and take them out of the country. They require both parents to either be there or for something in writing and then notarized from me saying, I agree with it's okay for my kids to get passports. So that's cool. The bottom line is I need to be there. And so I have to leave at 2:00 to go and get the passport. So I just wanted to let you guys know that we're going to have a half-hour show today, and I'm really sorry about it, but there was no way around it. I just learned that I have to be there too. So, got to get it done. Sandy says, I just got a passport. I hadn't had one in 30 years. Wow. If the pics stop, I met a shark. That's what we were talking about after the Mark Thompson show ended. We don't know how long this has been going on, where we put pictures up and you're not able to see them with a black screen. So we're trying to figure out, are we doing anything differently? What's going on that we can't see the pictures? And deal with the StreamYard, the company that we use with their software, to find out what's going on. So not cool. Yeah. John says, I just renewed my passport going to Germany in May. Wow. Julia will be in Germany in June. So you'll just miss her. Not that you wanted to go see the orchestra while you were there, but have a really good time. Wonderful. Yeah, it's more exciting for her because I'm not going, but she is. So that's pretty cool. BFW Rock says it's new this week for us. So this is a new problem. I think it happened last week as well. So yeah. Sandy says, I thought it was a good idea to have a valid passport considering everything happening in the country right now. Wow. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I mean, I guess if you got to go, you want to leave quickly, right? Emergency plans, contingency plans. Susan says, I'll be going to London in a month, in a week. We don't know, but have fun whenever it may be. Hope cuts don't delay getting passports. Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah. And maybe, she says, it'll inspire me to travel. Absolutely. Trevor with 1010. Kim, I need to leave in 10 minutes. So here's 10 bunch of guilt money. Thank you. I'll take your guilt money. And I have to leave early today too. So we get it. Thank you, Trevor. I really appreciate it. Hope everything's good with your Kimberly. Okay. Oh, BW Rock says, my wife and I went to get them after the first MAGA admin. We knew the chaos would come. Boy, are you guys ever smart. Good morning to you too, Dan. All right, let's get into some of these stories since we don't have that much time together today. And again, my apologies. I don't know what you would prefer if this happens. Would you prefer a shorter live show where we can do live chat? Or I could have technically taped a longer show last night and set it to run. I don't know what you prefer, but let me know in the chat. I'll go back and look to see what you would rather do. Yvonne emails me every night, and I'm just loving the messages she sends with the pictures of the eaglets, the big bear eaglets. So far, we have 2 of them. Here is a picture she sent me from the live cam in Big Bear of the mama. I assume it's the mama, could be the dad, the daddy, feeding the baby eaglets. So far, 2 have hatched. Looks like there's still 1 egg to come. There it is. She said her comment. Uh, I'll read her comment that she wrote, her email from the party mailbag. Yvonne writes this. She says, I promise this is the last email from me, Eagle email for me. Please let it not be the last one. She said, just had to share these pictures. Picture number 2 with the not getting fed chick has such a fun, adorable face. So look at, there's the picture she's talking about. Look at the eaglet down below. He looks annoyed. Like, why does he get the food and I don't get the food? Kind of funny. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, she says she saw the Eagle segment at the beginning yesterday and loves to see it, and apparently also likes the trivia segment. So well done. And thank you so much, Yvonne, for the messages. Don't stop. Don't ever stop. Kim at the afterparty.live. Here are more of the pictures she sent. There is one eaglet with the mouth open, wanting the food. And here is one of the eaglets. Look how soft that eaglet looks. And there it is, the pipping in the 3rd egg, indicating somebody's alive in there and coming on out. So it's exciting, especially after the bad news last year where we didn't get the eggs, right? Yeah. Here's a story for you. This one out of SF Gate. No kids allowed. Tell me what you think of this in the chat. I really want your opinions. My opinion might surprise you on this one. There is a high-end hotel, according to SF Gate here in California, that is now banning children. It is a luxury resort in San Diego County, and they're banning guests under the age of 18. It's the Alila Marea Beach Resort in Encinitas. They say they are transitioning to an adults-only resort, welcoming guests 18 and over. The policy change kicked into effect last month, and this is why they are doing it. They say we want to provide a serene and tranquil environment tailored to adult travelers seeking relaxation, exploration, and a peaceful stay by the beach. But there are some lawyers that say you cannot discriminate based on age, that this puts this resort in a precarious legal position because it violates a California civil code called the Unruh Civil Rights Act. It provides blanket legal protections against discrimination in California businesses. So according to Chris Dolan at the Dolan Law Firm in San Francisco, Mr. Dolan tells SF Gate, anyone who is providing public accommodation, engaging in contract, has to do so without effective discrimination, and that would include hotel establishments. So the innkeepers, he says, are not allowed to have a restriction against children being on the premises. The manager at the Alila Marea Beach Resort tells SF Gate, listen, the policy reflects a trend across other brands and other California properties in our Alila branded hotels. Alila Napa Valley, Alila Ventana Big Sur also has an adults only. And it's about these tranquil escapes for adult travelers. So they say the policy allows minors to attend events like weddings or to dine at restaurants, but they can't stay overnight. No kids overnight. Okay, setting aside the fact that it may be illegal, do you think it's okay to discriminate against children, to say, you can't bring your kids here? And I would say, fine. I don't want to take my family where my family isn't wanted. I appreciate that there are people who don't like the noise, because kids come with noise. No joke, right? We're now at the point where I don't have to say stop jumping or stop running through the room so that the people underneath us in the hotel won't hear stomping on the floor. Now we're kind of in the teenage years, 11 and 15, we're more mellow. But as babies, I remember it being in Tahoe and Julia was teething and she was crying through the night. And I thought we were going to get kicked out of this hotel. And I am so sorry for the people on either sides of us. As toddlers running around, it's hard to not keep the noise level down, even if you're trying and you're conscientious of it. I get that there are people that want to go to hotels that don't want kid noise and kids running around and the stress of kids, and I get it. But there are also a lot of places that welcome families, and I want to go to those places who want my business. I remember we were in Monterey when Julia was little, and we were going to go to a restaurant, was it the fish house or the fish place or some kind of fish restaurant. And right on the website, it says we don't have high chairs. That indicates to me that you don't want kids at your restaurant. If you don't have high chairs, it means you don't want kids that need a high chair to come to your restaurant. Easy. Guess where we didn't go? The fish restaurant. That's fine. Tell me at the beginning that you would rather not have us there, and we won't come. We'll find a place. There are plenty of places that want my business when I'm coming with my pack of kids. And so I respect the rules and knowing up front that you're a place that maybe caters to the older crowd. You want a peaceful, tranquil environment, and that may not mean me. And I get that. And I appreciate knowing up front. Are you offended by it? Or is it something that you think is kind of crappy? Because I think, while it is kind of crappy, I appreciate knowing. Totally okay. Sea Dog says, I've had hotel stays with adult people making noises, partying, smoking late into the night. I couldn't sleep. I guess noises just come with hotel stays. It's true. Kids don't have the corner on the noise market. That's right. Jennifer L says in Monterey, we had an infant next to us and they were a dream in an infant, but I'm certain that's the exception as opposed to the rule. It's just a luck of the draw. Sometimes it's a nice, sweet night for your little one. And sometimes it's a teething night and you just don't know how it's going to be. You can't predict it. Sandy says the Fisherman's Grotto in Monterey also doesn't allow kids under a certain age. It's my favorite restaurant in Monterey and I love eating there. John says, how child unfriendly can you make the place? Hey, if you tell me, listen, no, no high chairs, right? No children's menu. I get you. I'm, it doesn't take a lot for me to figure it out. And if right on the website, it says this is a tranquil environment for guests age 18 and over. Okay, it's fine. BW Rock says, if it's a private resort, let them do what they want. Don't like it? Take your business elsewhere. Exactly. I completely concur. Now, that's a whole different perspective than it may be illegal. That's fine. But I'm not mad at them. I would more appreciate knowing and having a policy like that up front than having people roll their eyes when I walk in with my kids. Yvonne says, oh, Mama's Fish House. They take kids. That's in Hawaii and Maui. God, if you haven't been to Mama's Fish House, expensive and worth every single penny. I haven't been there in so many years. Mo says, San Diego being a military town, it would be nice to have a place where a rendezvous may take place and not worry about the little ones being around. Wow, you really took it to a dark place there, Mo. I don't know. Jennifer said the walls were thin enough that we knew the infant was there without being seen. Kids are fine, says Luis. Out of control kids with parents who do nothing suck. So yes, true, because I've seen that too. But even in my case, where maybe I'm conscientious, I'm trying to keep the noise level down, it's still kids make noise, right? Like, I don't let my kids get up at the restaurant and wander around. We stay seated, trying to teach some manners. And still, kids are kids, right? They're going to have to make some noise and do things and whatever. What about no shirt, no shoes, no service? Add no kids onto the end of that. Wes says, it's not the kids per se, it's the parents that never taught their kids manners and discipline. Wes, moving in with the big guns. Sit down, kids. Shh. I'm kidding, Wes. No, you're right. Some people are super obnoxious. So, yeah, I guess this is their thing. Now that it's more publicized, the articles in SF Gate about not having kids at these places, maybe they'll face a lawsuit. But I don't think they should. I mean, there are places you can live that are communities, retirement communities, age 55 and over. You can have a grandchild stay for a night or two. I remember I was so offended when I was little. My dad and stepmom moved into an apartment complex while they were looking for a house. And it was age 55 and over or age 40 and over or something. And I saw the sign at the entrance and I thought, what do you mean? There's places that don't want me? Yes. Yeah, there are places that don't want kids. It's true. John Watson says, yeah, there are gated senior communities that say no one under 55 can own a house there. Absolutely. Wes says it's also like the people that don't want kids at their wedding. It is their choice. Yes, completely. I completely agree with that. Susan says, I think knowing up front that kids aren't allowed is the key for sure. There are many places that are kid friendly, which is helpful in many cases. Yvonne says, adults too can be unruly. Can they be given the boot? I think anybody that would just, well, we're not even going to let the kids in at the Alila, right? But anyone that causes a disruption to the tranquility would likely get kicked out. You're out. Sandy says there seem to be more and more places banning kids. I think it's a reflection of the fact that more parents are refusing to control their kids in public. I thought under He Who Shall Not Be Named on this show, kids, everyone's supposed to have more kids, right? Aren't we all supposed to breed now? What happened to the family-friendly society? I'd give you a pass, Kim, but some people are ridiculous. Why would you take an infant to a 10 p.m. screening of Becoming Led Zeppelin in a super loud Dolby theater? Parents' fault, not the kid. 100%. I can't stand it when people bring little ones to movies that are completely inappropriate and loud. So I have taken an infant that wouldn't see the content to a movie. I think we did that once, and we had ear protection, and the baby was just asleep in the car carrier. I think I did that once. It's been a long time. I don't remember. Maybe that's what they were going for. That if that baby starts fussing and crying, you got to go. You got to go. And if the kid is young enough to look at the screen and understand, what they're or see, interpret what they're seeing, that's a no-no. Sandy says unruly adults always get kicked out immediately. Unruly kids are harder to kick out because you have to also kick out their parents. And that gets complicated. Easier just to ban all kids. Yeah, Wes says there are 55 plus communities all over in Florida. So there you go. It looks like we kind of agree that, it's their choice. If they don't want kids, they don't get that business. Done. Yeah. Sandy with a question. Needing a recommendation for an over 55 community in San Jose, Santa Clara. Yvonne says, hi, Yvonne. Thanks for the eagle pictures. I was in a plane from Kenya, 2 crying kids. Felt for the kids more than the adults. I have ear problems on the flight, so who knows what they're going through. Yeah, it's hard. Kids on a plane are hard. Mama says, this is why I hardly leave my house. It's true. When your kids are little, it's hard. I get it. But Mama, wouldn't you rather know ahead of time this is not the business for you? I mean, I'm armed with the knowledge of all the child-friendly places and around me, so I know who's getting my business. Yeah. Karen says, I think the kids are out of control since the 70s when parents rebelled against the strictness of their parents by letting kids run amok. That's the problem. It's the running amok. No way. Louise says, congratulations, Kim, by Trump standards, given all your conversations with Dr. Peter Chin and now Dr. Mike Daniel, you are now a doctor. Well, thank you very much, Louise. No, not a doctor, but I appreciate it. I always like to talk to a doctor, and I love an ER doctor. Not just hunky doctors either. I just have mad respect for them. So thank you. Thank you, Louise, for the $5 and for everyone in the medical care profession. And thank you, Trevor, for the $10. And let us head toward this story about the woolly mouse. This is, I think, a story rife with ethical questions. All right. Scientists are trying to bring back the woolly mammoth. And in doing so, they've taken a baby step and they've created this thing This is a woolly mouse from biotech company Colossal Biosciences. They they're also trying to bring back the dodo bird. They unveiled plans a few years ago, 2021, to bring back the woolly mammoth. And they got a lot of headlines and investors were interested. This is a biotech company in Texas, all right? And they are focusing on identifying the key traits of extinct animals. And their goal is to genetically engineer them into living animals. De-extincting is what they're calling it. So, along with bringing back species that went extinct, they say they hope their work can be used to help with conservation efforts. This week, Colossal Biosciences said it had edited 7 genes in mice embryos to create a mouse with long, thick, woolly hair. They're calling it a colossal woolly mouse. Here's the difference between the woolly mouse and a regular mouse. 1, 7 gene edits to look more like a woolly, and 1 without the gene edits. All right? So they've gone in and they've edited the genes so that this creature will have this crazy shaggy hair. Is it different than breeding for genes like a dog breeder would to get the traits and the features that you want out of a dog breed? Or because they've gone in and tampered with genes to create this thing, are there ethical questions about whether or not humanity should be making species and creatures? And do we want creatures that have gone extinct many, many, many moons ago, like the woolly mammoth, to be brought back? Or is that best left to the chapters of history? And if we do bring these creatures back, or change creatures, or make creatures, what kind of doors are we opening ethically? These are the questions that I have about this story. Please comment and let me know your thoughts in the chat. The next step for this company, Colossal Biosciences, is to genetically modify Asian elephants to give them woolly mammoth traits. So people that are arguing against what they're doing say that's different from bringing back a woolly mammoth. There's a wildlife expert from the University of Montana. His name is Christopher Preston. He tells Sky News, listen, you're not actually resurrecting anything. You're not bringing back the ancient past. You might be able to alter the hair pattern of an Asian elephant or adapt it to the cold, but it's not bringing back a woolly mammoth. It's just changing an Asian elephant. It's technologically pretty cool, according to a biologist at the University of Buffalo. I don't know. They haven't published the results of the woolly mouse creation in a journal. It hasn't been vetted by independent scientists, and that's important to note. Alongside the mouse being given different hair, the Colossal Bioscience has issued a press release, and they said this woolly mouse has also gained the woolly mammoth's accelerated fat metabolism, likely related to cold tolerance. The genetic variations were already present in some living mice, and they put them all together in a single mouse. So, they say they're first focusing on mice to confirm the process works before potentially moving on to the embryos of Asian elephants. And Asian elephants are the closest living relative to woolly mammoths. But Asian elephants are an endangered species. So, are they going to be able to mess around with Asian elephants' embryos when they're endangered and we need them just like they are, not tampered with? Yeah, I don't know. Cam, going to the chat. What do you guys think of this? I don't know. I have questions. I mean, I'm all for science advances. Some things feel less like an advance and more like an intrusion into a place where we shouldn't go. You know? Mama says, why do they want a woolly mammoth anyway? Just to have as a pet, as a food source, to show off? I think it's because in an effort to say, look what we can do, right? So they grew a mouse with Trumpy hair. Isn't that the truth? Deidre said, a kid had a guinea pig that was fluffy like that mouse. It was freaking cute, she says. Sea Dog says, this sounds like Jurassic Park. Mo says, no religion, no sectarian doctrine. There is no ethics, or would you say there are no ethics, that has what we're dealing with in real life. Mindy says, so far, humans muck it up more than make it better. And that, my friend, is the key. Jennifer says, it's a new breed, and it wouldn't be a woolly mammoth. Yeah. I don't know. Sandy says, why the hell is anyone trying to bring back the woolly mammoth? That's what we want. Sandy wants the T-Rex brought back. Yeah. BW Rock says, I'm with Mindy. Keep humans out of it. Sandy says, whoever these people are, they need to watch the original Jurassic Park. It explains why it's not a good idea to try to resurrect an extinct species. Mo says, what about the subterranean colossal size methane volcano that resides so far dormant but about to be awakened below the Antarctic ice cap? Off topic, but yeah, that's also a concern, my friend. Luis, how about we prevent current animals from going extinct rather than bring back the ones going extinct? Right. There's some common sense. Why don't we worry about what we can have control over in the now rather than tampering and tinkering with these creatures in a lab to make them somehow woolly? Luis makes so much sense. So much sense. Yeah. Keep humans out of it. Leave the mice alone. All right. Some people are not liking looking at mice, so I will say, how about before we have to end the show, we get to a little Waterfall Wednesday? Yeah. We have gone to Alaska this time around. Ooh, look at that waterfall. Isn't that pretty? That is Barbara Falls at the Eagle River in Alaska. That is a beautiful waterfall. It is Barbara Falls, again on the Eagle River. The falls, trying to figure this out. The falls, one of the most visited in Alaska. Super, super pretty. It can be accessed via a 1-mile trail above, has a beautiful viewing deck, and it can be reached year round, but it's kind of a slippery area. So they say wear cleats or spikes on your shoes. The trail can be pretty slippery in the winter. So they do say it's a family-friendly hike. Oh, look, kids acceptable. Isn't that nice? But there are cliffs and drop-offs along the trail, so you got to keep your hand on that kid. Yikes. How about one more? How about we go to, what do you think? How about we go to Virgin Creek Falls in Girdwood? I have this one too. Hold on, I have to show it to you in a different way. Oh. Okay. Here it comes. There it is. Let me make it big. This is a magical waterfall. Look at how beautiful it is. There it is. Oh, yeah. So you have the waterfall above. You can see that. And then the waterfall down below as well. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, really, really nice. Virgin Creek. I'll take that. Again, this is a waterfall in Alaska. The Virgin Creek waterfall in Girdwood has an appeal. It's surrounded by these dense trees, moss-covered rocks you can see there, ferns in what they call a temperate rainforest. It's a 20-minute hike, great for families of all ages, easily accessible trail, and they say it's accessible to all the fine attractions in Girdwood. I am sad that this next one doesn't come with a sound effect because it's pretty cool. Look at this. That's a waterfall and a great way to end the show. I will say this waterfall looks incredibly powerful. It is Horsetail Falls and Bridal Veil Falls in Valdez. These are easily accessible falls 300-foot cliffside plunges in the Keystone Canyon. Both have parking areas right off the highway. They can be viewed on foot alongside the Keystone Canyon Pack Trail. They call it a photo-worthy option year-round, and in the winter, the falls attract ice climbers. So there it is. That is one of the waterfalls in question, and here is the other one. We'll scroll down to it. Look at that. How beautiful and peaceful. And what an amazing sight in the world. My apologies for having to end the show early today, but that is Waterfall Wednesday on the After Party Live. And tomorrow, of course, we bring you Trivia Thursday. So we'll do that. I have to go to the passport appointment. Thank you for the contributions to the show. Wes kicking it off with $5 via PayPal. And then, of course, we have Trevor Starr in Hollywood with a funny comment, and 1010 and Luis, always with compliments and lovely, funny things to say as well, with $5. Thank you guys for being here. Please click the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Trivia tomorrow. And don't forget, tomorrow is also the Nikki Maduro show. So I will see you tomorrow. I do want to say that there's a fresh guest on the Mark Thompson show tomorrow. We, of course, will have David Katz. That will happen for tomorrow. But also, we have a guest, trying to get to the guest name. Patrick Lovell will be on the Mark Thompson show. So that's going to be really exciting. Mark Thompson show, 11 a.m. Pacific. After Party Live, after that ends, the Nikki Maduro show at 5 p.m. on Thursdays. So I'll see you tomorrow here on YouTube. Until then, make it the very best day. Bye, everybody.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.